Jeff Horton, Sdsu offensive coordinator. What a task ahead for him.
Coach, it's good to have you on our Corky's Hotline on Ben and Woods this morning. I mean, is this a good time for the bye week considering all the injuries?
Great time for the bye week. Couldn't think of a better time for the bye week.
Yeah, seemed like it made a lot of sense. This would be, usually you'd say maybe later in the year, but right now, let's. You got some work to do, Coach. This week, there's no doubt about it. Identifying other guys who can step up. You need this extra time.
No doubt. I know my hair can't get any grayer because it's already pretty gray. So now maybe it start falling out a little bit. But hey, it's I really feel bad for those two young men. They're great, not just only great players, but they're great dudes, and will be out for a while. It's those kind of things that really bother me. But now it's time. Got to get other guys ready. So that's that always breeds some competition, and we'll get a lot of stuff done during practice this week and kind of see how it shakes out behind Chase there.
Now, that being said, you've already had guys step up. Ryan Agnew in at quarterback for Christian Chapman. Chase Jasmine moved from the backup role to the starting role pretty seamlessly. You got to feel like you feel pretty lucky to have guys like that ready to step in, Coach.
No doubt. These guys, they all work hard. Position coaches do a great job with them, getting them ready to go, and it just provides an opportunity for them that we always talk to them about. Hey, you never know when that shot's coming, but when it does, you have to be ready for it. That window of opportunity is small. When that window opens, hey, jump through that sucker and let's go. And the kids have worked hard this week, and I look forward to really step up and be excited about the opportunity next Saturday.
Coach, so you'll be taking on Boise State. Their defense, when you look at their defense, what are your initial thoughts just right off the bat?
Well, they're always, big and strong up front. They always got good front people, put a lot of pressure on you in the passing game and run game. I always say their front seven's very, very active, a little variety of fronts. They move around a lot, do a lot of different things. Kind of the old Boise's Boise, but the best way to neutralize that is to come off and just hit them in the mouth and knock them around and get after them. So, but it'll definitely be a task. They play Wyoming this week. Wyoming's a lot like us, so we look forward to seeing some of that film. Usually the film's the hardest thing to watch because not a lot of people do what we do, but Wyoming's one of the few that does, actually has a fullback in there and tight ends and stuff. So it'd be good watching on Saturday.
Is that a big advantage knowing that they have to play the week before? You get an extra chance to scout. You get an extra chance to game plan a little bit. How do you use that to your advantage?
Well, it's given us this week. We've been more not necessarily preparing for Boise, but just kind of going back to fundamentals, teaching. We got so many young guys that a lot of times you get caught up in the season just teaching plays all the time, and you tend to get away from fundamentals some. So this week we've gone back and done that. Obviously, we've had to accelerate the growth with some guys at running back and fullback there, and backup quarterback. With Mark Salazar, getting reps, trying to get him a ton of reps this week. In case something would happen to Ryan. So I think it's more about self improvement this week with a little looks at some Boise stuff. But we know what we're going to get with them. We'll tighten up the game plan as we get into next week and hopefully be able to go up there and execute it.
Sdsu offensive coordinator Jeff Horton joining Ben and Woods this morning. And so what have you seen from Ryan Agnew so far? He actually grew up in the town next to me back in Texas. What have you liked about this young man?
You know what? He's very unflappable. He's cool, calm, collective. Nothing seems to rattle him. He's got an inner fire. When you meet him, I've referred to him. He's a Clark Kent kind of guy. Our players go, "Who the heck's Clark Kent?" They don't know who Superman is. So, I got to explain that to them. They're too young for that.
Kids don't even know who Superman is anymore.
No, man, they're millennials.
Yeah, they don't know anything nowadays. He's got a burning fire and he's really competitive. And I thought has stepped in and done a tremendous job. He's made plays with his feet. He hasn't been flustered. He's played well in crunch time. He's been awesome to watch and just such a great attitude and about him. And that's awesome. I didn't know you grew up down there. I'm from Arlington, Texas.
Oh, no kidding.
Texas. So,
yeah, I went to Grapevine High School.
Grapevine, yeah, you're out in the sticks when I was growing up. I'm a lot older than you.
He's also quite flappable, my co-host.
I am very flappable, yes.
It's not in the water or anything. Coach Jeff Horton, offensive coordinator, at San Diego State with us on our Corky's Hotline with Ben and Woods. So, for whatever reason, probably because of the Statue of Liberty play in the Fiesta Bowl that year, Boise State's always known as the trick play team. I don't know if that's really accurate or not, but you're an offensive coordinator. What's your philosophy? I mean, it's not like I've never seen one from San Diego State, but then again, you guys are pretty straightforward.
You can say it, Ben.
I mean, you guys are pretty straightforward on offense. You ever think about, what kind of? I mean, Philly special, and you see NFL teams running all trick plays now. What's your strategy, Coach?
Yeah, I guess luckily I found a woman that thinks I'm exciting and sexy or whatever, because I'm pretty boring as an offensive coordinator, as most people say. We did try a trick pass last year. I don't know if you remember, Rashad was supposed to throw it, but the guy was covered, so he pulled it dout and ran for like a 30-yard touchdown against Nevada.
That's a great trick play.
Always works.
That was like the last trick play we've dialed up. For whatever reason, we just we have some, we just haven't called many. I think we did one in Cincinnati in the Hawaii Bowl. We threw a halfback pass for a touchdown in that one. But you're right, Boise. They always got their bag of tricks. That's kind of their image that's out there. We're more of a hey, we're gonna come get after you and stay after you, but you never know what's going to be dialed up at any time. Just when you least expect it, there might be a little trickeration.
Coach, you bring up Rashad Penny, and I know you're busy, and he's now with the Seahawks. He's gotten off to a bit of a slow start. Had a chance to see anything from him, hear anything from Rashad in his early days in the NFL?
Yeah, we text back and forth each week. I wish him good luck before his games and tell him how excited I am to see him out there playing. He just learned his way. He's going to be fine. That's a tough jump up to the NFL, and I think if they continue to stay with him, and in that league, need a couple guys, him and the Carson guy, I think they can complement each other well. And as he gets his feet more firmly entrenched in there and understands everything that's going on, I firmly believe that he will be a great player for him.
Well, he may have had a better offensive line to run behind with you guys than he does right now. I mean, even Russell Wilson spends most of the game on his rear end. So thanks so much for your time today, Coach. And obviously, I know you guys are working hard the next couple of weeks to get ready. We'll be pulling for you.
Thanks. It's always great to be on. Always appreciate your support and look forward to having success the rest of the season here.
Coach Horton, Jeff Horton, offensive coordinator at San Diego State.
The Mighty 1090 Hotline is presented by Corky's Pest Control.
Call 1-800-901-1102.